Hi guys, it's Saffy Chantelle here, and today I'm filming a back to school haul video for you all. I'm just going to be showing you a few pieces that I picked up in St Andrews in Glasgow, and by the way, I actually did a vlog on that. I'll link it in the description box down below and you can definitely go check that out if you want to. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I've decided to throw in something really exciting, and that is a few different story times from when I was in primary school, and they're really interesting, not gonna lie, you should definitely go watch them. This is not clickbait. Please stick around to the end of the video, I really want you to hear the stories that I have to share with you. So the first thing that I got was from W.H. Smith. It is this A5 notebook and it has all these really colourful polka dots. What I really like about buying things back to school is picking out something really colourful because it kind of brightens your mood when you don't want to go back to school and you see loads of colour. And it has these 3 different dividers down the side so you can split this into sections. I'm going to be using this for writing down things like homework, reminders, and any important dates that I need to have, such as exams. Then I picked up another notebook. This time it is an A4 one, but it is the same style and it has more different dividers down the side. I'm going to be using this for taking lots of notes in class because there's so many pages in here, and I prefer using this than scraps of paper that the teacher give you because I generally lose them in the bottom of my bag. I don't know if anyone does that. Like, have you ever forgotten about all these notes in your bag? You come to the end of the year, you go to look, and then there's just 5, 6, 7, however many scrunched up balls of paper that you've just never looked at again. And this notebook was about £4. Next, and also from W.H. Smith, and I think this was actually about £4, I got this A4 folder. You can open it here, and once you open it, it expands and has loads of different sections, so I think I'm going to be keeping my homework in here, any small books, and my notes as well. Then my mum picked me up some of these colourful A4 ring binder dividers, and I'm definitely going to be using these for my folders because they're just really pretty and they will make sure that all my notes are separated into the correct sections. Another thing that I got from W.H. Smith was this pack of 30 colouring pens. There are a massive range of colours, as you can see. They're really cheap, only about £2.50ish. One of my favourite things about the back to school season is getting highlighters because they're actually really useful for helping you remember things for exams, so I definitely recommend that you go pick up some highlighters. Now the last 2 back to school things I've got to show you aren't exactly back to school, but I got them with the back to school stuff, so I'm going to show you them anyway. So in W.H. Smith I came across the 5th Wave book and I decided to buy it. It was £8. I have watched the film. The film is really good. I love all those kind of futuristic world ending kind of TV shows or movies, so I definitely recommend that you get the book and that you watch the movie because they're just really, really good, and it's actually part of a trilogy, so there is 3 books and 3 movies hopefully going to be coming out soon. And the last thing I got was this scrapbook. This was actually really pricey from W.H. Smith. It was about £10 and I really do love the design in it though. I've always wanted to start a scrapbook but I've never actually done it, and I love being creative and using different patterns, textures, fabrics, sequins, beads, glue, all that kind of stuff. I just really want to make a really nice pretty scrapbook and put loads of pictures in it. So now I'm going to be sharing with you some story times from when I was in primary school. So the first one happened when I was on a school trip and I was about 10 or 11 I would say. Basically the school trip, we went to Glasgow to see a pantomime, and you know when you go on school trips you're all assigned a room and you have other classmates in there with you. So the room that I was in, I knew all the girls and I was all kind of friends with them. There was this one girl, I'm going to call her Patricia. Patricia decided that once we'd unpacked she was going to go and run around. She was going to grab people's stuff, run around the room with it, and kind of scream a bit. Me and these other 2 girls were a bit annoyed by this. We wanted our stuff back, so I was like, hey Patricia, can you give us our stuff back? Patricia was finding this absolutely hilarious and she just wouldn't, so I went up to her and I was a bit more forceful. I was like, Patricia, can we please have our stuff back? And she was just like, no, I'm not giving you your stuff back. At this point I was like, nope, she's gone too far, so I reached forward to grab the stuff out of Patricia's hand and she slapped me in the face. She slapped me. Not very hard, I mean, we were kids, it was more just a... But this got me really, really angry. So I pushed Patricia into the wall and she dropped the stuff, started crying, climbed up into her bunk bed because we're all in a room where there was bunk beds and stuff, and she just lay hiding under a duvet crying, and I gave everyone their stuff back and I was like, yay, you got our stuff back, well done and all that. And as little kids are, half an hour later we made up and she was doing her hair I think, and Patricia, well you're not Patricia, but if you're watching this video now, you know we're good friends now, all's good. Love ya. The next story time happened when I was about 6 years old. Now I remember there was this one week where I wasn't feeling too well and I'd been off school quite a bit. After being off school for a few days, I went back in and you're just in class, we were doing kid things adding 2 plus 2, colouring in things, all that kind of stuff. I remember we were doing maths and I went up to the teacher to get my answers marked, because that's what happens in primary. You normally walk up to the teacher and they mark your work. So I went up to her and she was all nice and friendly, being like, "Oh, hi Saffron, you're back at school now, are you feeling better?" And I was like, kind of, I still feel a bit sick, but I'm alright, I'm here now. And then she had the cheek, the actual cheek, to say to me, a 6-year-old kid, "Are you sure you weren't just staying off school because you wanted to?" Like, what? I'm 6 years old. I don't skip school. Like, my parents would be like, "No, you're going to school." Like, they know if I was faking it, you know? Parents just know those kind of things. And I was like, no, I was actually sick. And she was like, And actually, this is a good point that I have to throw in here. There was another day, and I think this is the end of the week, when she was like, "Oh, Saffron, you don't look too well. Are you feeling ill?" And I actually was feeling ill, so I was like, yeah, I kind of am actually. And I'm not sure what was wrong with that week. I think I might have had like a cold or like some kind of flu or something like that. And then she was like, "Oh, that's not good. Maybe you need to go home again." She got the receptionist to ring home and say that I was ill and that I need to go home. And I wasn't actually that ill, but she just kind of jumped in, and yeah, I ended up going home. And I still remember this to today because it really annoyed me. Like, she accused me of like skipping school. I'm 6 years old. Don't get me wrong, in general this teacher was a nice person, but on this one occasion she just really annoyed me and made me feel like I was some kind of bad kid when I really wasn't. I was sick. Like, get over it, it's not your problem. I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I know a lot of us are going back to school soon and I hope it's not too traumatic for you. As always, please support me by commenting and subscribing, and I'll see you all next time.